Tax deed alert. Last week, there was a $68,000 house that went at an over-the-counter tax deed for just $700 mortgage free. This thing was picked up for pennies on the dollar through an over-the-counter tax deed. Through tax deed investing, there are deals that are sometimes sound too good to be true, but these things are happening. So today we're going to talk about tax deeds, how to pick them up, and we're also going to talk about something super important, which is how is the government shutdown affecting the industry of tax liens and tax deeds, and more important to you, how this can affect you if you want to be picking up some dirt cheap real estate, because the government shutdown has been affecting things and creating some pretty interesting opportunities, because a lot of these counties are running short on a budget right now. So basically, I think there's around $62 billion that are not available right now to governments. So what's going to be happening is they are getting more aggressive with their tax lien and tax deed sales and processes, because flat out they need some money. So we're going to talk about here, all right, how do you get some of those deals, and how do you make some money in this situation, because the government needs money. And whether you like it or not, this game is being played, and man, there are some crazy deals that can be picked up at tax deed sales if you know what you're doing. For example, we saw a church right now that's available for just $600. I bought a funeral home once for just $6,100. It was worth 75 grand. It paid me $1,000 per month in rent. So this is a great business to use to get some real estate for retirement, for setting up your legacy. Sadly, these days, the average American is kind of getting boiled alive in a financial system where their cash is turning to trash, and the buying power just isn't what it used to be. Like, it used to be you could work harder, save up money, and get into opportunity. But now, with inflation and everything going on, you need a vehicle that can help you make money in real estate. And that's what tax deed and tax lien investing is excellent for. So let's talk about how these shutdowns are going to affect the tax lien deed market and create an opportunity. Now, before we dive in, it's Dustin Hahn here, and this channel is dedicated to helping people learn how to buy tax liens and deeds and have a different approach to getting into real estate investing to be able to make some money, whether you want to get rental properties, whether you want to flip properties, or just get a great deal on a property, sometimes up to 90% below market value. So on our channel, we have, I think, 3,700 videos now. We are the top channel on tax liens and deeds. And we always give everybody a free mini course that's in the description below to help you. So the goal of this channel is to make tax lien and deed investing accessible to everybody. Now, obviously, the disclaimers: this is investments. There are risks involved. We can't guarantee any type of returns. We can show you deals, talk about what we've done and things that are available now. And that's one of the cool things about this is, this isn't hypothetical stuff. These are deals that are available and happening right now. And if you show up and take swings, it can be a really cool opportunity to make some money in real estate. A lot of folks tune in and we demo live properties on the channel, and they're going and looking and researching in real time as we're showing these properties. So let's talk about this shutdown. And by the way, if you like making money in real estate, hit the thumbs up on this. So let's talk about the shutdown. So right now, governments are facing much tighter budgets with a much smaller cushion. And basically, many counties, the revenue generation is being cut due to these shutdowns. So what this means is there are counties that are obviously under pressure to collect revenue, and they are basically getting more aggressive when it comes to their tax collection on property taxes. So this can really create a great opportunity to get some great deals on property if you know where to go and where to look. So for example, some of the most tightly squeezed counties are going to be more aggressive with their tax deeds. So for example, in Pennsylvania, Allegheny County, the federal funding cuts there are really putting the crunch on things. So they're going to be more motivated. They're going to be more aggressive with their sales. And also in these counties for over-the-counter deals, you will be able to strike deals. Like if they're asking, $10,000, you might be able to make them an offer for $1,000, and they might take it just to get the revenue on the books and get it going. So, on a national scale, so far this has cost I think the economy around $7 to $14 billion when it comes to the strength of the market, and it's even affecting the GDP. So what we're going to focus on here today in the video is we're going to look at some of these counties, see what type of deals are available, where you can go, and how to take action, because that's what we're about here, showing you guys, where to go and how to do it. Now, this is also being combined with a massive seasonal advantage. And that seasonal advantage that's here right now is obviously we're moving into the end of the year. So we're going to have Thanksgiving rolling into Christmas, which means a lot of these counties are doing auctions on the first Tuesday of the month. So we have next month, December, coming up. And when you combine the government shutdowns with the holiday that's coming up, there's going to be a lot of opportunity, because anytime there is a long weekend, especially Thanksgiving, there's going to be more properties and less competition at the upcoming sales. And remember, Texas and Georgia, first Tuesday of every single month. And the reason this works good is, first off, banks are one of the largest redeemers of tax liens and deeds. So, a lot of people shut down moving into these sales on the first Tuesday. So bankers are going to be less likely to redeem the property, which means there'll be more properties at the auction. And people with money love to celebrate Thanksgiving. So there will be less competition at these auctions. So for those of you guys who want to push for some deals towards the end of the year, this is going to be a great seasonal timing for you here today. So let's change gears. Let's bring in the boys, and we're going to look at some of these properties. We're going to look in Pennsylvania, and we're going to use some AI as well to get this going. So if you guys are liking this, do us a favor, hit the thumbs up. And let's bring in the guys. Let's bring in Mr. Josh Blanchard and Corey Chason. How you guys doing here today?
Hey, Dustin.
Howdy.
Yeah,
Hello.
nice. Corey, sharp shirt going. Josh winning the beard competition. Good stuff. So the other day we showed one of these properties that I mentioned earlier. It was worth $6,800. It went at the auction for $7,000, or sorry, $700. Now, obviously it needed some tune up, but what we're going to do is we'll just do a quick little share as far as some of the things that came up and some of the auctions to come, especially this this Pennsylvania sale that's going to be having some properties because they're getting squeezed and affected by the shutdown. So Josh, we can pull up your screen here and see some goods.
Okay, nice. So what we got here is taxsale.info. This is the Michigan County tax sales. And we've showcased this website a few times before. And the way that it works in Michigan is that they do the auctions once a year for the entire county. So you can see back in August, that's when they started. And so we got a lot of feedback from people, and we did see a lot of competition. Now, the thing is if you come to one auction and you see some competition and then you don't come back, you will miss out on opportunities. And what we see here is after the auction finishes, there is a minimum bid re-offer auction. And so it comes back with a lower price. And then anything that slips through here will then go to this one called the no reserve auction. And this is where it's like $100, $150. That's going to be the opening bid. So even if the county is owed like $5,000, $10,000, it doesn't matter. It's going to be $150 or $100. Very, very low opening bid. And one of the interesting things that happened is we were looking at this prior to the 31st, prior to the auction. And we noticed that there was actually a lot of good deals that had slipped through, like really nice properties that looked like they were occupied. And the suspicion was, or the hunch was, that maybe people just won bids and then they didn't actually go ahead and pay for them, or they didn't understand the rules or anything like that. Or maybe they got trigger happy, they bought too many, didn't have the capital to pay for them all. But what ended up happening is people actually got some really good deals. And so for anyone that said that it was too competitive, the results are in, and that just wasn't the case for everything. Mind you, yeah, a lot of it could be competitive. A lot of it, we did see stuff sell at, maybe 50% of market value or closer to 70, 80. But look at this right here. So here we got a 2-story boarded up home that sold for $700. And this property has got an ARV. It's like 68,000, I think. Let me go ahead and throw that up for you here. So 1009 Webster Street, yeah, $68,000. And so fixed up, it's actually going to be a lot more than this. But I mean, for 700 bucks, that's crazy. And so someone was very lucky when they bought that home. We saw pieces of land, lots of vacant lots sell for 100 bucks, 150 bucks. We saw this church. Look at this church right here. This church sold for 600 bucks,
Hmm.
which is crazy. So the price, like your Netflix subscription for a year or your coffee, your monthly coffee, for half the year. Tons and tons of houses actually did sell, yeah, for under $1,000. You've got this large, huge commercial building sold for 14 grand,
Wow,
and all these
14 grand
lots,
for a building looked like on a
yeah,
main street.
yeah, like a huge commercial building.
Wow, it looks like there's actually two businesses, or maybe it's, oh no, same. Maybe it could be two.
Yeah,
Pretty
so I
cool
mean
though.
that's wild in itself. All these lots, under got 150 bucks, you got 500 bucks, 300 bucks. This one was freshly cleared. 300 bucks. Like wild. I mean, it would have been way more than 300 bucks to just get this cleared. So that's very cool. We got another house here for $9,000. There was one for 150 bucks that had some fire damage. So the thing is that, yeah, there was tons and tons of deals, and some of these didn't actually even sell. So here you've got zero point zero 0.04 acres. The minimum bid was $100. So I'm not too sure what the county is going to do with that. This is Berrien. But if you were to come through this and you were to look through everything, anything that doesn't have this green sold for price below, that means it's like an over the counter. So you could go ahead, you could try to pick that up. You could go through, see what's there. I mean, a lot of these are decent lots. Now this, you're kind of walking into a mess, right? If you get something like that, but that was 150 bucks. But yeah, you'd have to clean it up. But that's a commercial. Well, I wouldn't call it a commercial building. It's rubble. But we had a student as well buy two properties in Michigan. He's into it for about $11,000. And as is in the current condition, those two properties are worth 40, which is phenomenal. So that's really good deal. He's got two people. They're occupied, so he could cash for keys. Those he could rent them out. He could do seller financing, all kinds of different exit strategies. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, 150 bucks for this. So mind you, yes, it is fire damage, but at the same time, it's 150 bucks. And you know that the parcel is going to be way, way more than 150 bucks. You've got a nice building next to it. Looks like almost like maybe apartments or something. Here's a vacant lot, 100 bucks. So unreal. Tons and tons of deals in Michigan this year, and still stuff that did not sell. So for those who are interested in reaching out to the county, we've given you the free book that actually outlines what questions to ask the county. So you can download that book, ask them the questions, and see what the deal is with this one. 100 bucks, this piece of land. It looks like people are already parking on the grass. So that could be a moneymaker right there.
Nice, Josh. Let's get the chat going.
Holy smokes.
Corey,
Did you see the chat?
as Corey was showing there in the description, we always give away the ABCs of tax lien and deed investing to help everybody get started. But let us know who's here. Let us know your name and your city and state, because we can custom tailor the stream to your questions and where you are. We're going to go look at some auctions coming up here. So let us know who's here. Your name, your city and state, and we will tailor the stream accordingly. Put some questions in the Q&A box. We would love to hear from you and get into it. Check it out. Cool comment here. So Sarah's saying she just sold hers today. She got it for 3,700 bucks. Worth, let's see, 43,000, $2,000 down, 580 a month. Can't wait to get more. Nice work, Sarah. So that's the name of the game that we're here to play. And very, very cool. Thank you for sharing that here with us. And man, that's the fun of tax deed investing, is you can get these things super cheap. You can be creative. Where else could you get a $580 monthly income off of just $3,700? Like, that is a very, very exceptional ROI. And thank you, Sarah, for sharing that with us. I wonder if you could maybe share a tip in the comments as far as, what helped you the most. One of the things we like to say is, hey, go call 5-10 counties a day to take action. You don't need to reveal your secret spot to us here today as we are on a live stream. And that's definitely a principle to keep in mind. So, there's 1,500 and some tax deed counties that are out there. And the fact is, some of these counties are untapped fishing holes, meaning there's tons of properties left in them. And, when you find one of these, you can go back to it over and over again and really scoop up some deals for sometimes the long term. And when it comes to these really cheap areas and counties, the smaller counties a lot of the times have a lot of over the counter deals, or they might have a handful that are smoke show awesome deals. So that's going to be up to you guys to do some digging. We're going to show you here on the channel deals that are live as well. And remember, in the description below, we always give away the National Tax Deed Directory, which has the phone numbers to everything. And you can call, start asking for the list. And oh, nice. Sarah's saying literally it was the Michigan website that we were just on. So very cool to hear. And, these deals happen. You just need to take action. She followed the Michigan site we were on, and she's in the game making money. So very, very fun. Warm welcome. Hello to everybody. Kevin, good to see you here. We got Florida, Kansas City. Let's see. We will get to some questions here as we go. We got a few Florida, actually quite a bit of Florida here today. Washington, D.C. as well. And let's continue, because we're talking about how the shutdowns are putting pressure on counties to collect tax dollars, which can lead to some great deals. So Pennsylvania is one of the places. Pittsburgh, they're getting squeezed. So there's a big chance they are going to be pushing harder on their tax deed properties. And with you guys being prepared, you can find some deals there as well. So let's see, Josh, let's change some gears. We'll look at some of these places. And the thing to keep in mind is we do show a lot of like Texas, Georgia, and Philly. And one of the reasons is because it's easily accessible from home on your computer. So, we're not bound by specific locations. We go where the deals are. And it just so happens that there's a lot of deals in these places. So that's why we show them quite a bit. But the thing to keep in mind is that the principles that we share with you they work everywhere. It's like driving a car. You learn, if you can drive your car in Florida, you can drive in California. You follow the road signs when you get there. So that's why we give you guys the directory here. That's why we give you this book. This is the driving book for each state. It's totally free. In the description below. And our agenda here, some people will say, oh, if it works so good, why are these guys having a YouTube channel and talking about it? And full transparency, at the end of the day, the same way you like to make money, we like to make money too. And our goal is to provide the most free information, hands down, to the tax lien and deed community. We do that with 3,700 videos here. Our site, Tax Lien School, is the top rated resource for tax lien and deed investors. Thousands of free articles to help you. And then we do bring people to tax deed auctions. We do help them one-on-one and build them custom AIs. And if you're interested in that, you can book a call and we can build a custom plan. And that is a business for us. Full transparency there across the board. Let's see. So over to Pennsylvania. And if you guys like this, do us a favor, hit the thumbs up. Subscribe, let us know who's tuning in, ask a question, and we will get to all the questions here as we go. All right, let's find some deals.
Okay, great. Yeah, so Dustin was referencing Allegheny County in Pennsylvania earlier. And so haven't actually looked at those tax sales before. That's in Pittsburgh. The bulk of what we looked at would be smaller counties in Pennsylvania. And then, of course, monthly doing Philadelphia auctions. So I went into our AI tool and was able to quickly get everything that I needed to get. And so it turns out that there's actually 2 different auctions that are happening. So one of them is the Allegheny County Sheriff sales that are held monthly, which is great. And then you've actually got the city of Pittsburgh treasurer sales as well. So that's just properties that are inside the city limits. And then from there, it was able to give me the links for each of them, which was great. And then just a practical investor summary. So how often they happen, the typical platform. So one of them is actually virtual, which is pretty cool. And so for anybody that wants to get involved, that's out of state or even out of country, you could go ahead and you could do this virtually. And it does require going through a bit of hoops as well. There's a difference whether you're in state or you're out of state. You may need to actually get a LLC. Okay, right. Yeah, you just the registration form must list the authorized signatory. So you don't actually need to be a Pennsylvania resident though, which is great. And then if you can't attend the live teams auction, you can authorize an agent to bid for you. So there are ways to kind of get around these issues. You could say sometimes states or auctions or the sheriff will have certain requirements. And so it would be easy to say, oh, okay, you know what, I don't have that, so I can't bid remotely. But there are ways that you can go ahead and you can do it. So let me go ahead and show you some of the upcoming ones. This is one of the links that it took me to. So they advertise in two different areas. So they got the Pittsburgh Legal Journal here on the left, and then Pittsburgh Courier on the right. Am I saying that right? I think I,
Career?
I
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it's one of those like you say it and it's like, oh, that came out a bit funny. But yeah, so here we've got this one. And so this auction is coming up on the first. And so what I did notice is that they actually do blend together tax sale property and also mortgage foreclosures, which is really similar to Ohio. So it's the same thing. And a lot of times, it can be easy to tell just by the opening bid. So for instance, this one is got an opening bid of 5,700. So unlikely that a mortgage balance is 5,700, or why wouldn't they get that cleared up? Let's just take a quick peek at that property. So yeah, $86,000. So that would be right in line with the tax amount. A couple years of taxes would be 5,700, and then after legal fees and court costs, things like that. So that does make sense. But when you scroll down, you then see some higher numbers. So 102,000, for instance, which would then most likely be a mortgage company. And so the way to actually look at this is to look at the court record. They do have a document number here, and then you can go ahead and see who is the one that is suing. Is it the county? Is it the city? Or is it a mortgage company? That's how you can know for sure. But yeah, usually the hint is the opening bid. So 130 grand, 136 grand, and then down to 11. So if it's $11,000, if that's the opening bid and it's worth, $200,000, that's going to be back taxes. So there's one website. They do have an auction coming up on December 2025, which is great. And then here is the second website, which brings you to the classified section. And I just have to scroll down to public notices. And just a quick thing as well. When you do a foreclosure on a tax lien and you are going through that process, this is exactly what it looks like. You have to take out space in the local journal, and it's going to look the exact same thing like this. But here we go. So here we've got the plaintiff. So if it's the county or the city, the school district, anything like that, it's going to be a tax sale. So there's the plaintiff. And this is all public information. There's nothing hidden here just for the YouTube algorithm. This is all just from the local journal. But yeah, you can see the plaintiff is the county. It's the City Gateway School District. Here's the defendant and the debt amount for back taxes. So if we scroll down, we've got a couple more. And when are these happening? So this was November 3rd. So that was just this past Monday. So most likely the next list could be further down here. While looking around though, I was able to easily find previous results. And so before you buy a plane ticket or before you pay someone to go ahead and drive properties or before you put a whole bunch of effort into an auction, it's always a great idea to go ahead and look at what previously sold. And so if you find that someone was selling properties, if auctions are selling properties for 10 cents on the dollar, 20 cents, 30 cents, 40 cents, that's great. That's the kind of auction you want to be at. But if they're selling property closer to market value, then, it may not be the best auction. I'm not seeing a date here, but yeah, so maybe this is just for if it was on November, just a few days ago, they probably don't have the next one yet. You just need to come back here and check it out. But yeah, so they're getting squeezed for cash because of the shutdown, and so they are going to be more aggressive on their tax sales. And so this is a place that you want to be paying attention to. You want to be focusing on just because there are going to be new opportunities that are presented just because of, macroeconomics and what's going on in the country. So you don't want to miss out on that. And again, anybody can attend virtually, which is very cool. So the links are up here at the top. You can go ahead, take a screenshot, scroll back on the video. But yeah, that is Allegheny in Pennsylvania.
Nice. Now, as we go through this, Josh, maybe if we pull up, we can use the AI and just ask like what cities and counties are being most affected right now by the government shutdown. So here's a cool example, everybody. Just kind of using AI to help you do work faster. So, for example, like everybody can get a free ChatGPT. We have one customized for tax liens and deeds. However, you can, our ethos here is like, hey, we want to show everybody how to do this stuff for free. And then from there, there's obviously different things you can do to add on to it. So what we have, let's see what counties are going to pop up as far as the ones that are being effective. There's a chance they can be more aggressive on their tax deed sales. So let's see, what do we have here, Josh?
So we do have some states. So I think we're going to ask it to kind of give me the best counties of those states. We got Florida. Real estate has a large share of state GDP and disruptions. So mortgage, federal agency service delays may slow tax sale investor competition. Arizona, Hawaii, Nevada, Delaware identified alongside Florida as especially vulnerable in the real estate market side. Also, jurisdictions with high federal employment or federal grant dependency may feel compounding effects. So, of those states you mentioned, what would be the best counties for tax sales that are affected? Yeah, it's also just given us some news articles there, which is great, which is helpful. Yeah, I think we mentioned that before about the GDP.
Mhm.
Okay, so recommended county is Orange County, Florida. So why good for you? Florida is high competition, but Orange County has a well-structured online system. Being a larger metro area, competition is higher. Title or encumbrance risk may be elevated. And so then knowing how to do a title search, of course, or look for liens and encumbrances is going to help. Yeah, Polk County, Florida, good for you because monthly sales, exactly. Yeah, there's so much going on. Online bids, more manageable competition compared to ultra big counties. And then Maricopa County, of course. Mohave County, Arizona, Yavapai, and then how to choose and prioritize. And then my recommendation for you, start with Polk County, Florida, and Mohave County, Arizona. These two present a mix of manageable competition and good structure. Then keep a secondary watch on Orange County, Florida, and Maricopa County, Arizona, for larger opportunities when you want to scale. And then it could pull 5 additional. And then, I could also say to it, this is the budget that I'm working with. I want you to tailor it to that because that will also affect things. But super helpful in just kind of focusing on where things are being affected the most.
Excellent. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's dive into some questions here. Once again, welcome to the live stream. We've been chatting about how the government shutdowns are affecting tax lien and deed investing, how that's creating opportunity for investors, and also the timing of the holiday season coming up. It really is a good timing as well. Let's see. Michael Saint here, student, want to be a part of the team. Let's see. You wanting some help as far as getting going? So like I mentioned, one of the things that we do is if you guys want like one-on-one help, or if you want to come join us at a live auction, here's a link. You can scan the QR code. You can schedule a free call with us. There's a link in the description if you want to book a call, and we can have a chat to help you get some of these deals that are coming up. And generally what we try to do is just save you some trial and error, save you, show you maybe where the good deals are, the good deals to, or the bad deals to avoid. And if you want an AI built or to join us at a live auction or a virtual auction, you can schedule that call and we can see if it's a fit. It's a free call. That's in the description there below. Let's see. We got somebody from Canada here, Montreal. Good stuff.
Oh,
That
nice.
Canadian dollar exchange is great. Let's see here. Do you guys have a community of people doing this, or just do more one-on-one coaching? So basically we have our community of people here on YouTube, obviously. And then from there, anybody who works with us one-on-one, we're building a community there as well. We have a Facebook group, but it's kind of not really. It's okay. There's a lot of people posting stuff in there, and it's hard to monitor. So we are building a new group and community. But
It's gonna be sweet.
What's that, Corey?
It's gonna be sweet once it's fully launched. It's gonna be great.
Nice, excellent. So that is coming down the pipeline as well. Let's see. Maryland is having a tax deed sale. Very cool. Is anybody here participating? I don't think we've done the Maryland sale before, have we, Josh?
No, but that place that they're referring to, St. George, we've showcased really good OTCs before from that auction. And so it's going to be a great sale because if people have passed on good deals, that means that there's going to be good deals to begin with. So yeah, definitely one worth checking out.
Excellent. Good stuff. Let's see. Josh, what state you don't buy tax liens? Josh, we always mention New Jersey's not one of our favorites.
Yeah, New Jersey is definitely not one of our favorites. So I mean, different counties have different rules. And one of the oddest things that we've seen lately is it might have been a Louisiana sale off Civic Source where you actually bid for interest in a property, meaning that, if there's one owner, they have 100% interest. And then it's like you will share that interest with the owner when you foreclose, like down the road. So very complex. That was kind of weird. That was a one-off sale. But one man's trash is another man's treasure. And so we wouldn't want to do Florida tax liens or we wouldn't want to do Colorado tax liens. And that's because we want to end up with the property at the end. And if your goal is to simply just get interest, if you don't want to actually own a property, if owning a property is a headache to you, which there are some people like that, then you actually just want interest. And so those would be two great states for you. And so we would say, hey, we're not really interested in that. But if that's you, if you fit the mold of, I actually just want to get high, secure, guaranteed returns, and I actually don't want to, do real estate, which would kind of be odd because you get property, for 10 cents on the dollar. But if that was you, then, those could be great states. But ones that we don't have the patience for would be Wyoming, because it's 4 years. It's one of the longest redemption for tax liens out there. We love places with OTCs though. So Maryland has come up before. We showcased Maryland a few months ago. They've got great OTCs. Arizona's got tons. So it's 3-year redemption, but there's so many OTCs in Arizona that are available like today, right now. So there's not many that we would stay away from other than what we mentioned right now.
Nice. Let's see. Chiming in. Yeah, definitely waiting for the Facebook group. So it's actually going to be a school group. Facebook kind of so these days. Would you say, Corey?
Yeah, we want to control a lot more than what Facebook can do, and with school we can manage everything. It's going to be great. I don't want to give away too much, but there's a lot more we can do with school than Facebook.
Let's see. Kentucky. We've showcased before a couple Kentucky. Over the counter. There's definitely some over the counters available in Kentucky, but we haven't done much with the liens there.
Yeah, that's a great comment because it hasn't come up too much, and we haven't really showcased Kentucky at all. So that's something that we could put in the pipeline to do like next week or the week after, so we can hit that up.
Excellent. Let's see here. Cobb County delinquent tax list is what I have to look for. Deeds. Cobb County. So there's 3,300 counties, everybody, and let us know the state. Cobb County, is that Florida?
I think it's
It could
Georgia.
be Georgia, but a delinquent tax
Georgia.
list is it's just going to give you a list of who's delinquent. So that's a motivated list of individuals, but they're not actually on the chopping blocks, you could say. So that's not an auction. So an auction list is going to be, this thing just always like blocks out your hand, right? There's the auction list, and then there's a delinquent tax sale list. So you may be able to be on a delinquent tax list for years. Like in California, you can be on it for years. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to an auction just yet. You will eventually. So it just depends, how long can people be delinquent for in Cobb County. But yeah, you're just going to want to go like type Cobb County tax sales, and we got it in the book too, what to look for. And that will take you to it there. It looks like it's the Cobb County Tax Commissioner. And yeah, first Tuesday of the month. And they have a list of upcoming auctions.
Excellent. And remember, first Tuesday of the month, the next one coming up is going to be the holiday special one. So we love these auctions because there's going to be a lot less people and more properties. And in fact, Josh is going to be boots on the ground in Texas at the Texas one. So we're looking forward to that. So there's a lot of great properties coming up there. And if anybody wants to join us, boots on the ground, you can do that. So you can schedule a link. There's a call, scan the QR code, can have a free chat with us, and we can see if you guys want to come join a live tax deed sale as well. And that's what we do. So, we give away as much information as humanly possible with 3,700 videos going live. But sometimes you might want hand-holding help. That's what happened to me when I got started. Is I went to a 3-day tax deed seminar, and then I met somebody at the seminar, and they said, "Hey, we're going to be in Washington in 2 days. Why don't you come meet me at that auction?" So I basically had a person taking me by the hand, showing me what was up. And even with all that help, the day of the auction, I was too scared to bid. And when the property came up, he's like, "Dustin, bid on this property." And they like physically held my hand up. And I got the 40 acres for $4,200, and it was worth 40 grand. And if it weren't for that person there doing that, I probably wouldn't be here today. So, for you guys, if you have had all this information, you haven't taken action or done a deal, then maybe that's something that you want to explore, is coming and joining us at one of these live auctions. So you can scan that QR code there. Let's see. Josh, you had something up on your screen. Was it at Texas?
Yeah, we're just kind of always curious about what we're going to see coming up. And I saw something pretty wild. So a lot of the times, the best deals, because you have to have cash, right? At this auction, you got to have the capital right away. A lot of times, the best deals are these high ticket items. And so I noticed that this has got an adjudged value of about $2 million with an opening bid of $133,000. Now, $133,000 cash does sound like a lot of money, but if you think about being in this business for a few years, that is something that you could realistically get to. If we take Calvin, for instance, one of the students who bought over-the-counter property in Pennsylvania, is like $250. So most people can save up $250. Acquires a mobile home, sells it for 15 grand. With that 15 grand, he buys another 2 mobile homes for like $2,000 each. Sells those. He gets this piece of land with a garage on it. That's on the market for like 16 grand. So the thing is you can, in this business, you can start to build wealth. You can accumulate wealth over time with very little, which is very cool. And we showcased earlier the Michigan sales. Sarah earlier took 3,400, and we'll turn that into 43,000. So 133 grand is the opening bid, and the adjudged value is at 1.9 million. And so I took a quick peek. Here it is. This is a great area. A quick street view. So it's like this is where you want to be. And so $133,000 can't get you anything, in most cities.
Whoa, get you all this?
$133,000 can get you this here. Now, obviously, it's going to get bid up a little bit, but the last time we saw a high ticket item in Texas, it was worth, I think, like 4 million, and it sold for $1 million, 4 or 5 million. It sold for $1 million or 900,000. So 25 cents on the dollar. So this can be an incredible place where you never know what it's going to go for. And on top of that, this is also going to be right after Thanksgiving, long weekend. And so you could have less competition here, but quite surreal that $133,000 can get you something that should be, should take a lot more, 1.5 million maybe on the market. For something that's worth 1.9, it would move. So pretty cool. There's a lot of interesting stuff here. Yeah, I mean, you got really, really juicy spreads as well. Minimum bid 9,000, adjudged value 240,000, 9 on 90, 40 on 386, 25 on 215. So these are really big spreads. And then of course, there's stuff for everybody. Even if you got $25,000, you can get pieces of land. So this one is worth 84. Open bids 8, 7 on 33. That's a bit more, that may come back as a resale though, if it's too steep. But yeah, lots of different opportunities here. I just thought this one was quite fascinating. I just thought, wow, that's
Yeah, very cool.
it's a big chunk of land there. Actually, it might not even. I guess that's why you always want to use. You don't want to rely on Google Street View because this looks a bit different than what that is.
Photo
This
there
is
was 2025.
yeah. I guess I would just have to find North Freeway and East Witcher.
The interesting thing though is if we go back, it looks like the parking lot is a different lot.
Well, yeah, let's see if we can find oh no, so this, let's get clear on that. So we got East Witcher, of course. Yeah, East Witcher. So it's not including this, but it is this thing. So we could drag the little guy right here. Okay, so it's right before Bed Bunk World. You would want to drive this for sure. It's like, what are we looking at? And so you could use Regrid in person. And so what we would do is we would drive it. We would see the little blue dot, like you would see on Apple Maps. And so we would see where we are in relation to this, which that would be the best way, especially, if you're going to be putting a whole bunch of money on the line. But here's something else that's cool. Look at this. You got the year built. So a lot of this stuff was built in 2019. This is just the public appraisers district. So there's 5 buildings. One of them was remodeled in 2019. 5 buildings on that parcel, and the size of them, and then of course the value. So just very cool stuff there.
Nice. Remember, the golden rule on this stuff is we do want updated current photos of the properties. So you can have somebody go take pictures if you're going to be doing it remote. This sale in Texas is an in-person auction, and this is the one we're going to go to. We like to go to Harris County because every month there's enough properties to make it worthwhile to actually fly there. So, if you guys want to fly to something in person, we recommend there being, 80 to 200 properties to look at. Because remember, a lot of these are going to get redeemed, right? So we're going to go, maybe the list right now is 150. Josh will probably have that one on the list to go look at. Hey.
Oh yeah.
Nice. So we're actually going to go drive that property, pull up in front of it and, see it and touch it, see what's going on is super important. So this December 2nd auction is an exciting one because, it's post where, Thanksgiving's happening. So there's going to be more property, less competition, and we like that. We like that scenario. So, you guys can go. If you see us there, make sure to come say hello. Or if you want to come join us, we'll be in a van and cruising around. Super small groups. It's a lot of fun. It's a big day, but it's a great immersive way to learn the business. So if anybody's interested in that, you can click the link below and schedule a call and maybe come join us there. If not, make sure to say hello at the auction because we know we got a lot of folks in Texas. It seems a lot of people here, Georgia, Texas, Florida, those a lot of action in those areas. And we're gonna hit the ground running. Broward County, Florida. I thought we looked up that one before. Do you have a recollection on that one?
Yeah, we have done that one before. Yeah. Broward County, I think, was less competitive than some others, and so we were more interested in that than a lot of the other counties there. Yeah, it's a good one.
Nice, good stuff, everybody. Well, it's a very important time for everybody, and that time is to take action, right? Remember, it's never going to be easier to start than it is today. Real estate is one of the best tools for retirement, for residual income, and you actually have a tangible asset. Corey and Josh, remember I was looking through my notes today. We read a book called it's like Killing Sacred Cows. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we read that book, I don't know, a year or two ago. I just saw my notes on it and I went through it. And one of the big things that they talked about is having, like, you look at banks, what do they have? Like control and collateral. And that's one nice thing about real estate, right? Is, if you're doing like an Amazon store or you're doing a stock or a crypto, it's like you don't have control and you don't have really any collateral. So in this game, you know, you're taking any money you have, you're going to buy something that translates into an asset. So that's why we like this business. You know, one of the big problems these days is the internet is infinitely wide and like, you know, an inch thick. It's very, very narrow. So what you end up doing is spending all your time watching videos without taking action. And, you know, they did a study, like the most successful people in the world had one thing in common. And it's this concept called speed of implementation. I always show my sands through the hourglass here. And the amount of money you're going to make is directly proportionate to the amount of time it takes you to take this information and implement it. So the most successful people in the world, the one trait they had across any field was they had the smallest amount of time from when they got new information to when they implemented it or tried it. And, you know, there's that saying that we often say on the channel. It's like, you know, content without action is like reading a menu and expecting to be full. And, you know, these days, not a lot of people are having full bellies because they're just watching endless content. So at this point, I want to encourage everybody to take some action. You know, one of the simplest things you can do is call your county and ask them when the auction is, or ask them what they have left over for over-the-counter tax liens and deeds. And that's super easy. You can grab the deed directory below and literally just, there's still time today, especially on the West Coast, to call 5 or 6 of these and just ask them, when's the auction? Is there anything left over in the county inventory or the over-the-counter list? And you guys can get in the game. You know, we saw Sarah earlier, gave her great example. She watched our video and took action, and it was very cool. Sarah, thank you for sharing that and inspiring folks here. You know, it seems like she's just been going off of what's in these videos and taking action. So you get the Gold Star Action Taker Award here today for doing it. You know, anybody would take these deals all day long. You know, 10 deals like this, $3,700. You would spend $37,000, and you got $5,800 a month coming in, which nothing wrong with that. So it's time for everybody to take action. So, you know, make a list, call the counties. If you want help or you want to join us at this Texas sale, you can schedule a call. And then let's report back here tomorrow and let us know what type of actions that you guys took. And tell us in the comments, actually, what action you're going to take. The simplest one is I'm going to call my county. I'm going to find out when the auction is, okay? Or go to the Texas website. So let us know in the counties if you're watching the replay. And we will continue to report how these government shutdowns are affecting things and where to strike, where the irons are going to be effective. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Hit the thumbs up if you like this, and we'll see you soon.